short of radical disruption would align our national education system with this plan. For decades, our education system consistently fell short of its ideal standard as society's ultimate means of building an equitable society by giving every child, irrespective of background, the chance to fulfill their potential, chase their dream, and rise to the highest possible level of achievement. For this reason, we run the risk of becoming a rigidly entrenched class society divided by inequality and unable to pursue a common vision or articulate any collective aspiration as one nation. Even after implementing free primary education and beginning to undertake free day secondary education, we hesitated when it came to the most critical intervention for developing employable skills in tertiary and higher education. Over the years, millions of Kenyans were left at home after failing to secure admission to tertiary education institutions. As time went by, graduates of these institutions started having difficulties finding employment, and employers began complaining that our graduates lacked skills relevant for modern competitive industries. As entry examinations became viciously competitive on one end, and employers were spending billions of shillings retraining graduates to make them suitable for their enterprise needs. In the middle, millions of youths were left with no choice except to flock to informal sector and unskilled work. Our entire university capacity in 41 public and 37 private universities admits 650,000 students in total and remains unable to keep up with a growing demand. Every year, therefore, many eligible and interested young people are unable to enroll for university education, and the Open University of Kenya gives them a chance to. In the plan, we identified the setting up of a national university, as I said, as a critical intervention to address this crisis. The objective was to increase access while reducing the cost of university education in order to finally deliver 100% transition to higher education, whether it is transition to our TVETs, whether it's transition to our VCTs, whether it is our transition to our universities. That transition must happen so that we can continuously sharpen our human capital and use it to drive the prosperity of our country. As I have told you, I did undertake, and I am very proud of the team led by Professor Munavu, my former teacher. That great professor is a wonderful, good man. He participated in the education chapter, in the formulating the education chapter of our Kenya Kwanza plan and many other aspects of that. And I'm very happy that he is also participating in its implementation. Asante sana, Professor. Early findings from the recommendation that Professor Munavu and team and Professor Maritim and team recommended on working group enabled us to consolidate the institutional framework for the National Open University and finalize the groundwork for its inauguration by developing, validating, and uploading courses and training material online. On Madaraka Day, as you all remember, I announced to the nation that the National Open University would shortly obtain its charter. That was a few months ago. Today, I am very proud that we've given Open University of Kenya a university charter. The magnitude of this achievement to me is big. For long, the term inclusive was assumed to be naturally incompatible with the purposes of higher education, while university education was commonly understood to be, by definition, the exclusive privilege of a few. And I say this as a public servant, knowing very well where we come from. When I look for example, and that is what motivated me to rethink the higher education funding model. Because, good people, out of our 11,000, is it, or 12,000 secondary schools, Belio? 11,000. 11,000 secondary schools in Kenya. 5,000 secondary schools do not send even one student to university. Whole 5,000. Most of them in rural Kenya. That is a cause for us to do some soul searching. Many of the students who end up at our universities are the children in academies and the children of people who can afford a certain quality of education. Kenya cannot continue that way. We have to rethink it. Yes. And that is why in the new funding model at the university, we made the deliberate decision that students from vulnerable families must get 100% scholarship, at least to make sure that those who manage to go that far never drop out because they were not able to pay for this or the other. But we're going to work backwards. And I've already told Waziri Machogu to think. It cannot continue like that. We cannot continue to have the children of a few Kenyans going up the education ladder. We must make sure that the children of all Kenyans have equal opportunity to be their best. Today, Kenya makes history by flinching open the door of the university for everyone who wishes to receive higher education, from the convenience of their home, office, kiosk, farm, or other hustles. Those who do not wish or cannot afford to abandon their other interests in order to pursue university education can now enroll on more convenient terms. This is, in my very honest opinion, the university possibly of herdsmen, farmers. Mama Mboga in his place can also attend now university. Matatu drivers, boda people, when you are waiting for your passengers, you can attend courses at the university. Watchmen, domestic employees, as well as trained professionals and graduates. Nothing says bottom-up better than an open University of Kenya that gives everybody a chance. It is indeed, in again my very honest submission, the people's university. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you can be in class in a university by simply logging in. I note with great satisfaction that the simultaneous implementation of our open university and the digital superhighway commitment demonstrate the internal coherence of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda and highlights the strategic complementarities between its